Edgar Allan Poe, often regarded as one of the most iconic figures in American literature, was a master of the macabre and the mysterious. He is best known for his Gothic tales and haunting poetry, which continue to captivate and unsettle readers to this day. Poe's life, plagued by financial struggles, addiction, and personal tragedy, only deepened the enigmatic aura surrounding him. His death on that fateful night in 1849 was as shrouded in mystery as the chilling tales he penned, and remains a riddle that has perplexed generations. Join us today as we unravel the baffling circumstances, theories, and enduring legacy of one of the most mystifying writers in history. But before we unravel the mysteries, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Edgar Allan Poe was born on January 19, 1809, in Boston, Massachusetts. His parents, David and Elizabeth Poe, were both actors, but their lives were plagued with struggles. By the age of 3, Poe was an orphan after the early death of his mother and the abandonment of his father. Fortunately, he was taken in by John and Frances Allan, a childless couple from Richmond, Virginia. Poe's relationship with his foster parents was complicated, and it would lay the foundation for the tumultuous aspects of his life. In his early adult life, Poe attended the University of Virginia, where he excelled academically but incurred significant gambling debts, which strained his relationship with his foster father. He tried his hand at joining the army, but was dishonorably discharged after neglecting duties and disobeying orders. Edgar Allan Poe decided to pursue his career in writing. Poe's contribution to American literature is immeasurable. His mastery of the grim and the mysterious revolutionized the short story and poetry genres. His works, including The Telltale Heart, The Raven, and The Fall of the House of Usher, continue to captivate readers and inspire writers to this day. Poe's personal life was as enigmatic as his tales. He married his cousin, Virginia Clem, when she was only 13 years old. The marriage was reportedly based on deep love, but it was short-lived, as Virginia succumbed to tuberculosis at the tender age of 24. Poe's heart-wrenching loss of Virginia left him grief-stricken, and his writing took a darker turn. He continued to write and publish his works, but his life was marred by financial difficulties, instability, and heavy drinking. Now let's delve into the heart of the mystery, the circumstances surrounding Edgar Allan Poe's death. According to the tale, on a dismal, rain-soaked night on October 3, 1849, Joseph Walker, a pressman employed by the Baltimore Sun, was en route to Gunners Hall. This particular evening marked the city's election night, and the hall served as the polling station for Baltimore's Old Fourth Ward. On his way to the polling place, Walker stumbled upon a man lying in the gutter. He was disoriented, disheveled, and evidently under the influence of some form of intoxicating substance. Wearing shabby attire, which, as it would later transpire, did not belong to him, this unfortunate individual turned out to be none other than the renowned writer, Edgar Allan Poe. It was clear that Poe was in desperate need of medical attention. Poe was swiftly transported to the Washington Medical College, where he endured a grueling 4 days of relentless delirium, harrowing hallucinations, and incomprehensible ramblings. During this tormented period, he repeatedly uttered the name Reynolds, which remains a mystery to this day. Sadly, Poe's life ended at 5 a.m. on Sunday, October 7th. The attending physician, Dr. John J. Moran, cited the cause of death as phrenitis, an antiquated term signifying brain swelling or congestion. This terminology was also commonly used to allude to deaths resulting from alcoholism. Regrettably, none of Poe's medical records or the actual death certificate have endured, leaving a lingering layer of uncertainty. At a mere 40 years of age, the world lost a literary legend. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged regarding the mysterious circumstances of Poe's death. Let's explore a few of them. The most prominent theory attributes his death to complications arising from alcoholism. J.E. Snodgrass, the physician who attended to Poe at the tavern, held the belief that Poe had indulged heavily in alcohol, ultimately succumbing to the trembling and delirium commonly associated with alcohol withdrawal. Several indirect accounts lend credibility to Snodgrass's view. indicating that Poe had encountered acquaintances in Baltimore and embarked on a drinking binge. This pattern was not entirely uncharacteristic, as Poe had experienced periods of heavy drinking throughout his life. However, it's worth noting that at the time of his death, Poe had recently become a member of a temperance society, which promoted the complete abstinence of alcohol consumption. Additionally, Dr. John Moran, the attending physician at the hospital, was convinced that Poe was not under the influence of alcohol and hadn't indulged in the days leading up to his death. The fact that his symptoms improved and then got worse with no explanation appeared inconsistent with the theory of alcohol withdrawal. Another theory proposes that Poe may have fallen victim to carbon monoxide poisoning from spending a lot of time indoors and breathing in too much coal gas. Symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning include confusion and hallucinations, which bear striking resemblance to Poe's condition before his death. Several diseases have been argued as potential factors contributing to Poe's demise. These include heart disease, diabetes, tuberculosis, and epilepsy. One theory suggests that Poe died of tuberculosis meningitis, which would cause the membranes around the brain to swell. It is possible that Poe had dormant tuberculosis for years. Poe may have been sick for a while before his death, and the symptoms, which include fever and delusions, would definitely fit. Notably, a captivating hypothesis offered by a medical professional affiliated with the University of Maryland suggests that Poe's death might be attributable to rabies. Poe's erratic delirium, with periods of apparent improvement followed by sudden deterioration in the last days of his life, aligns with the clinical presentation observed in individuals afflicted by advanced stage rabies. The most tantalizing theory of all is that Edgar Allan Poe may have met with foul play. The circumstances surrounding his discovery at a tavern, which was serving as a polling place, a common practice in the 19th century when elections were held in drinking establishments, have led to the proposal that he might have been involved in an unusual form of electoral fraud referred to as cooping. In a cooping operation, gangs affiliated with corrupt politicians would seize unwitting passers-by and coerce them into casting multiple votes for a specific candidate. Coerced individuals were frequently subjected to physical violence or compelled to consume alcohol to ensure their compliance, often while being disguised to facilitate multiple fraudulent votes. This could potentially account for the peculiar attire Poe was wearing at the time of his discovery. The most recent and plausible theory regarding Poe's demise suggests a brain tumor as the potential cause, shedding light on his behavior leading up to his death. During the exhumation for transportation to his new memorial, little remained of Poe's body but bones. An intriguing discovery occurred during transit when an observant worker noticed an unusual mass within Poe's skull. At the time, newspapers speculated that this clump might have been Poe's preserved brain, having somehow endured nearly 3 decades underground. However, American author Matthew Pearl, who explored Poe's death in a novel, was captivated by the mysterious mass. Upon consulting a forensic pathologist, it was established that this clump couldn't have been Poe's brain but possibly a tumor. After death, tumors can calcify into hard masses, whereas the brain typically decomposes swiftly. Regardless of the many theories surrounding Poe's death, the exact circumstances remain a mystery to this day. But the enigma doesn't end there. Poe's life and works continue to bewitch and inspire generations of readers and writers alike. His tales of terror and mystery continue to captivate and chill readers around the world. The mystery that surrounds Edgar Allan Poe's death only adds to the allure of his works and the man behind the pen. We may never uncover the whole truth about his final days, but one thing remains undeniable. Edgar Allan Poe's stories will haunt us forever, and his legacy will continue to inspire the curious and the creative.